In this video, we're going to show you how to produce bitumen emulsion samples in the lab using the ATMO Agilis. You want to test out new emulsifiers, new binders, new formulas? Here, we're going to see how to produce 1 liter samples very easily in a matter of minutes. Welcome to this tutorial from VIALAB. We're going to go through the ATMO Agilis, what it is, and how to use it. Then, we will focus on the production of a bitumen emulsion. The formulation, the preparation of the components, the analysis of the emulsions, all of this is tackled in our training program specifically dedicated to bitumen emulsions. If you're interested in this program, make sure to write us at contact@vialab.fr. The ATMO Agilis laboratory pilot is a device that is used to produce 1 liter samples of bitumen emulsions under atmospheric conditions. Before producing an emulsion with the ATMO Agilis, please check that the final temperature of the emulsion does not exceed 95 degrees, that the latex content in the emulsion is below 5%, and that the bentonite content in the emulsion is below 2.5%. Here are the main components of the ATMO Agilis: the electrical plug with the power switch, the emergency stop button, the on-off button for the rotation of the atomics, the rotation speed display, the rotation speed control, the display for the temperature measured by the probe, the atomics heating, the default light, the temperature probe connection, the temperature probe setup, the bowl with the atomics inlets in the bottom and the recycling tube, the sampling valve, a beautiful VIALAB logo of course, and the drain valve. Here, we will produce an emulsion with 65% binder content. The ideal temperature of the binder depends on its grade and needs to correspond to a 200 centipoise dynamic viscosity. For the binder 7100 that we have here, 140 degrees is perfect. The aqueous phase will be at 40 degrees, so we can calculate the emulsion temperature, which, in this case, will be 88 degrees. It is way below 95 degrees and the boiling point of water, which means that the emulsion can be produced under atmospheric conditions. Let's prepare everything we're going to use for the production. The correct bitumen mass at the right temperature, the correct aqueous phase mass at the right temperature, extra aqueous phase for the cleaning, and a sampling bottle. First off, make sure that the pilot is clean and empty, especially the bowl and the atomics mill. Put around 300 milliliters of hot water in the bowl. Turn on the atomics and set it to 3000 RPM. Here, we can see that the fluid is circulating well, because it is coming back to the bowl. We also see that the fluid is rather clean. Then, leave the water in the bowl and start the heating of the atomics while rotating at low speed. This step is recommended to bring the whole system at the same temperature as your aqueous phase. In the meantime, check the temperature of the bitumen. It needs to be at the right temperature for 200 centipoise dynamic viscosity. Here, for this bitumen, 140 degrees is perfect. Also, make sure that the aqueous phase is at the right temperature. When both phases are at the right temperature and the ATMO Agilis is ready, then we can move on to the production. Replace the water in the bowl with the aqueous phase and turn off the heating. Then, make sure that the atomics is entirely filled. To do that, turn on the rotation of the atomics, set it to 3000 RPM, and wait for 5 seconds. Then, turn off the rotation and look at the surface of the liquid. Those are air bubbles that were trapped in the atomics. This means that the homogenizer is now ready for the production. Turn on the rotation and set it to 9000 RPM. The bitumen is then slowly poured on the recycling nozzle. That way, the binder goes directly in the atomics to be dispersed. This step is the most crucial one, so make sure that the bitumen is added slowly and poured on the right spot. Ideally, all the bitumen should be added within 2 minutes. When all the bitumen has been added, collect the emulsion immediately and let the sample cool down in a water bath. Sometimes, if the bitumen is not at the right temperature, or if there are too many air bubbles in the emulsion, the flow can slow down or even stop. If that happens, turn off the atomics for a few seconds and then turn it back on. If that doesn't work, there's probably a clog in the system. Consider flushing the ATMO Agilis and cleaning it fully. Now that the production is over, let's clean the ATMO Agilis to make sure it is ready for the next sample. Right after the production, wash the system with 300 ml of aqueous phase, and then 300 ml of water. Let the fluid circulate in the system at moderate speed, and also make sure to clean the sampling valve. To remove the remaining bitumen particles, pour 300 ml of bio-based cleaning agent in the bowl and let it circulate for a couple of minutes at moderate speed. If your cleaning agent is not sensitive to heat, you can even turn on the atomics heating for quicker action. Don't hesitate to use a brush in order to scrap the areas that are covered with a thick layer of bitumen. After that, a final wash with soap water and regular water will take care of the rest. Your ATMO Agilis is now ready for the next production. You now know what the ATMO Agilis is, how to use it, how to produce bitumen emulsions, and how to clean the system after use. It is now your turn to experiment with your components and your specific formulas. We hope you found this video helpful, and please consider sending us your thoughts and feedback at contact@vialab.fr. It is always a pleasure to share perspectives. Other than that, we wish you a lot of success on the way of bitumen emulsions. Thank you very much.